at these shades, huh? Oh boy. Oh, it's getting cooler. We had a couple of warmer days again. I'm not a summer girl. Now it's getting cooler. Hello, Damoon. Hello. Good evening. I was just watching a First Post report. I like the Indian news outlets, by the way. Even the ones that aren't friendly to Israel, like Times of India. I prefer to listen to their opinions than other inimical opinions. I think they're a little more balanced, and I like to listen to opposing opinions so long as they're not off the graph. Anyway, getting back to First Post and Wyon, both of which I find to be pretty objective. Certainly objective about what's going on in what they call the Near East, which I think is kind of cute. I was watching what Beirut looks like now and what Haifa looks like, and I have to be honest. I have to say this. It might not sound patriotic, but it's coming from a place of really, really deep love for the Jewish people and everything that Jews are supposed to be in the creation. Every Jew has a birthright for the right of return, on the proviso that they have attained the ability to live here in peace. That is what Torah says. Torah does not say that a Jew has the right to live in Israel and be whatever kind of a schmuck they want to be. That's not it. The Zionists have it all wrong about that. Not every Jew has a right to be in Israel under any conditions at any time at every state of development. Until a Jew has attained the level of being able to do the mitzvot, and I've explained what doing the mitzvot is. לעשות, 806, that is ציון, that is Zion. And hamitzvot, 541, is Yisrael. So לעשות hamitzvot is ציון Yisrael, לעשות Yisrael, to be able to make Israel. Until a Jew has attained the level of being able to actually bring Israel into being from their Torah learning, they don't need to be here, because the version that they're going to find is not going to be a happy, healthy version. I would advise people, until they get to a level of really knowing Torah deeply and really being the embodiment of peace, don't come to Israel. I used to be gung-ho about encouraging people to come here, and after 40 plus years of living here, 42 years I think it is now, I changed my mind. I was wrong. We have to be in a certain moral place in order to be able to live here successfully. And if we haven't attained that, if our presence is some kind of an irritation, if we're taking up space, by being here, and in so doing, stepping on someone else's toes. We're not ready to be here. On this point, I think that Neturei Karta, the Satmar Hasidim, they're absolutely right. It's better not to be in Israel if you're not ready for it. It's like getting married. If you're not emotionally prepared to put in the work, to being with another person and live in peace and make compromises and cooperate and, lower your ego a little bit to make a little bit of space for somebody else to breathe. If you can't do that, better not to get married. That doesn't mean that you don't have the right to get married. You do have the right to get married. It's your birthright if that's what you want to do. But at the time that it'll be good for another. And it's exactly the same thing with making Aliyah. It's called Aliyah. It's called the ascent for a reason. And one has to be in a at least morally ascended place enough so that they're not making hate waves in the creation. By the way, this goes for Jews and Gentiles too. The only Gentiles that should be in the Holy Land are those who have attained the ability to live in peace and not crowd out someone else with their presence. This is the Holy Land. This is not a state. Things don't work here like they work in the rest of the world. Everything is like an overdrive here. Everything is much more intense. So if you've reached a level of being the embodiment of peace, it's going to be more intense here. But if you're still belligerent and you still have some kind of an attitude of like, this is my right under any and all circumstances, that belligerence is going to be magnified here too, and it's going to be reflected back to you. So I honestly have to say to the Jews who think that they have to hate others and crowd out others in order to be able to be here, go back to Muncie, Manchester, Crown Heights, Borough Park, Williamsburg, wherever it was, Brussels, just stay there, because if you can't live in peace here, you're not ready yet. It doesn't mean that you don't have the right to come here. You do, but you have the right to come here only under God's conditions, not under any and all conditions. Thank you for listening.